Hello, I'm the 10-minute English teacher. Let's get you exam ready. Today we're thinking about love and relationships poetry, and I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know for the poem Climbing My Grandfather. Before we get going, don't forget to like and subscribe. There are plenty of things on the channel to help you revise for English literature and English language. Okay, Climbing My Grandfather. We're going to start by thinking about what the poem is about. It's about the speaker's grandfather who has passed away. It's in memory to him after his passing, and in the poem, the grandfather is likened to a mountain in an extended metaphor, and the speaker is climbing that mountain. Climbing is something that's difficult, getting over a loss is difficult, but climbing is also something that's rewarding. So thinking about someone that you've lost can also be rewarding. Those are the messages that are explored in the poem. We're going to start in the exam by writing a paragraph about what the named poem and the poem that you've chosen are about and how they link to the theme in the question. Here's an example of that if you're writing about Climbing My Grandfather. Climbing My Grandfather is a poem about loss, with the speaker writing about his grief and the loss of his grandfather. He imagines his grandfather is a mountain that he climbs. Coming to terms with loss is difficult, but gives you a sense of perspective and reward when you do. The poem could be about the struggle to get to the place where you can remember someone you've lost with joy and without pain. So that's my first part, and if I was writing about another poem, I'd do the same for that, linking it to the theme of the question. And once I've done that, I need to write about structure. So the structure of the poem, here's an example of what I would write if I was in the exam. The poem is one continuous stanza with an irregular metre and without rhyme. This could reflect the disorder a loss can bring to our lives. It also reflects the struggles of climbing and therefore the journey of overcoming grief. So I will start my response with a paragraph that links both my poems to the theme of the question, and then I'll be writing about the structure of each one. Once I've done that, it's time to write about the key moments in the poems. Quotes to know. You do not need to have colour-coded every line in your anthology. In the exam, you're only going to be writing about 3 or 4 quotes from each poem in the 45 minutes you've got. So let's have a little bit of a think about my top 4 quotes from this poem. The skin of his fingers is smooth and thick like warm ice, and this is what I'd be saying about that. The use of oxymoron here reflects confusion and the conflicting feelings the speaker has. He's both overjoyed to think about his grandfather and his relationship with him, but it's also painful to think about him and his loss. We've also got watching clouds and birds circle. So I could say that as the speaker climbs, he's able to enjoy the views. The imagery elicits thoughts of freedom and peace. This could be a metaphor for his overcoming grief. I could also say that these images could be a metaphor for the memories he's beginning to be able to look back on and think about. And the speaker also says climbing has its dangers. And this could be a metaphor for how thinking about someone you've lost is painful and can lead to you becoming overcome with emotion. And the last quote for you to know is reaching for the summit. And here's what I'd say about that. The summit, the top of the mountain, could be a metaphor for overcoming loss. The speaker gets to that place where he can see beyond the pain and remember his grandfather in a positive way that fills him with joy. So those are my 4 quotes to know. You can pause here if you want to and recollect those to help you be able to recall them in the exam. If you want to take it further, watch the video again and mute the sound. You do the talking and be the teacher. Think about how you might compare this poem to others, like Eden Rock or Follower, which also explore loss in familial relationships. Check out my quotes to know without looking guides to revise the flashcards for the key quotes. And then after the exam, why not come back and let us know how you've got on. Check out my other videos on my channel and I'll continue to add content. Feel free to ask something you'd like to see me cover in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and keep revising.